Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Telling It Like It Is Facebook Live. My name is Jade Alberts. This is episode number 98. This is the first time I've thrown out a number, but I'm pretty excited about getting to 100 on December 4th. This is a live broadcast, so if you do have any questions, please answer them. If you are, or ask them, we will answer them. If you are watching this after the fact on LinkedIn or Facebook, please do not hesitate to throw out a question, and we will answer them. Today's guest is Allan Marston, founder of Zenoshi.com. Allan, how are you today? And thank you for joining me.
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, Jade. Glad to be on. Thank you for having me on, Jade. Appreciate it.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure. I know I like to talk about how we met through the networking, and it was through the Rainforest, Alberta, of course, and then we've met for coffee a few times, and our relationship is growing. So I know I cherish all my relationships and really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to share your story and knowledge with us today.
Yeah, no, I appreciate being here. I'm excited about it.
Well, what we'll do is I'll do a brief introduction and we'll get right at her. So, Allan was the CEO and founder of a Silicon-based business and now focusing on Zenoshi. Zenoshi is a next-generation universal programs being built and designed for both consumers and brands globally. One of the neatest things that I'm looking forward to hearing about your story, Allan, is that you are the first person that I interviewed that's been based out of Silicon Valley. Can you please share that experience with us?
Yeah, it was a crazy experience. It was a experience in being late and being early. And, which kind of sounds crazy, but late in the sense that I got there, I raised some money here in Calgary. I took the company to Silicon Valley. We were in Pleasanton, California. Yeah. We lived in Livermore, California, but we were in Pleasanton, California because our chairman of our board was from Pleasanton. So we moved the company there. We bought a company actually there. And we got there in January of 2000. In March of 2000, the dot-com crash happened. And so you can imagine the reason we went to Silicon Valley was not just to be in Silicon Valley. We had some VCs that were interested in investing in our company, but we needed to be in the Valley. So we moved there. And then the dot-com crash happened. So we were a little late in getting to the Valley. We had gone the year before. We would have probably gotten the money and we would probably been doing something. Early to the game was I was trying to create something where people could make an appointment with their doctors and dentists and eventually with anybody else without having to receive any kind of response back saying that you've been accepted or whatever. So make the appointment. It was done. You'd see the doctor's calendar. You wouldn't see who was in it, obviously. And back in 2000, 19 years ago, there was a lot of privacy regulations and worries and all that kind of stuff. And I couldn't get it done. In 2011, a company doing exactly what I was talking about called ZocDoc, they're out of the Boston, New York area, has done it. And they're worth over $1 billion today. Wow. So that's 2011. So too early to the game. In fact, as far as, getting that kind of thing done. But it was very exciting being in the Valley during those times. I stuck around for quite a while and, try to get something going because I'm just not the kind of guy that quits too early. And finally came back to Canada after it didn't work out.
Oh, I mean, that is an interesting story. Too early and too late. I've never heard that actually used in the same sentence. So out of all my interviews, I'm going to I'll always remember that one. That's an interesting evaluation. One thing I forgot to mention is I want to thank Work Nicer for sharing their T-shirt with me. I love Work Nicer and Kurt and Ariel, the work that they do there. So thank you very much for the shirt. And I love giving them a good shout out. So, I'm talking to Allan Marston, founder of Zenoshi. If you want to go to their website, you can just click on the link in the comment section and it'll take you directly there. Last week I had Kurt Kinnear of HubbyDub on a local rewards program that gives you, points for really in life community action. You started Zenoshi thinking global, so total opposite of what Kurt was thinking. So please share why you started Zenoshi.
So one of the reasons that I started Zenoshi is I've been a very fanatical loyalty rewards guy. I mean, I will not fill gas unless I can get my Canadian Tire dollars or my PC Plus points. I'll drive almost on fumes just to get there, right? So, and drove my kids crazy for years because they go, we thought we're going to run out of gas while driving from Calgary to Winnipeg, because Winnipeg is where I was originally.
Yeah.
So, being fanatical about it, I got really ticked off at the industry over the last 2 or 3 years. Technology has made it easy for every company, every store, basically, to have their own rewards program.
Yeah.
That put us in a bad place, the consumers, because we've got points, 500 points maybe at the pet store. We got 300 points maybe at the flower store. We got points all over the place. We can't combine them. We can't do anything. They don't have any value to us. So that was one problem that I had with these reward programs. The other problem that I had was they can cancel the programs at any time, or they can change the programs at any time. The merchants had all the power. We had no power. And I just went, you know what? I'm going to disrupt this industry. And so the way I thought about disrupting this industry is to create an app, which we're hoping to launch next month, and create the app that allows you to take a picture of a receipt and you upload it. And basically take a picture of a receipt anywhere. You don't have to say, oh, I wonder if this store is on, or this grocery place is on, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Any receipt, anywhere, take a picture in North America, and eventually when we branch out into Asia and stuff, you'll be able to do it there. But take a picture of a receipt and upload it, and we're going to give you points called Zenoshis. And eventually those points are going to be your rewards itself, are going to be on the blockchain. And I know you're going to talk about that later. But that's exactly what I wanted to do with the data. And that data is valuable. And I'm being very plain and upfront with people is, yes, we're going to use your data to sell it to advertisers that want to reach you. But they're going to reach you because they want to, they want to talk to you about what you've done, not just on behaviors, but what you've actually bought and how many times you bought it. If you've been out and you've eaten steak 6 times in the last 6 months, they know you're going to eat steak, and they want to advertise an offer to you maybe at another steak restaurant. Whereas based on behaviors, I like a steak restaurant. I like another steak restaurant. Maybe I like it because Jade happens to be the owner of it. Maybe I like it because my friend Mary is the manager of it, or whatever it might be, right? Yeah. So that's the big difference in what I'm doing. And we're going to pay them for their data, because these Zenoshis that we're giving them have a great, have those points. They'll be able to use the marketplace. And one day when we're on the blockchain in the future, they'll be able to cash it out. And if anybody wants to see the rewards we've already got, they can go to Zenoshi.com, click on the rewards app, the rewards tab, and see what we've got there.
No, that is interesting. And I agree. I mean, Catherine, my wife and I, we brought all of ours in, and we basically have one, a Capital One in our PC. And then we just, because we got tired of Petro points. And as you said, we got crap all over the place, and it was just too hard to track. So I think that's, a very good point. But again, with most of these companies having their own rewards programs, like, have you had some issues, getting some of them on board or setting up a third-party program?
That's a great question, because one of the cornerstones of what I'm doing is staying merchant agnostic. And that means that we're not signing up any merchants. We sign up smaller merchants. I don't mind getting the smaller merchants on, but I don't want any of the bigger merchants on. And the reason is, right now, it is not possible for these merchants to be able to, the big stores. And I don't want to name any stores today, but, there's big retailers out there. They can't get competitive intelligence. One grocery store can't get competitive intelligence on another grocery chain. And because that grocery chain has their own rewards program, the other grocery chain has their own rewards program. So they can't get that competitive intelligence. I want to be able to provide that competitive intelligence. It'll make us more valuable if we're not attached to any merchants. If I am collecting data from the ABC conglomerate, from all of their customers, and they tell me, listen, I don't want you to sell my data to XYZ because they're our competitor. And if you don't stop doing it, we're going to leave. And if they were to leave, that would really put me in a bad place. So a small merchant, a little coffee shop says, hey, I don't want you sharing the data of my customers. I'm going to quit. But go ahead. I'll get the next coffee shop. I can't do that with the big conglomerate. So we're staying merchant agnostic on purpose. And I think these big merchants are going to appreciate that, because we will be the first place that they can actually get this kind of competitive data.
No, and I think that's great. And I mean, as simple as taking a photo of a receipt, I love that. I mean, that's not hard, and a lot of people might even be doing that for whether it be their accounting purposes right now, anyway. So it's not something that's a foreign substance or that they do. So
there is actually, Jade, I will tell you, there is Checkout 51, for example, is an app that you can get where you can take a picture of a receipt. Unfortunately, they only give you the cash back, and we don't do cash back and all that kind of nonsense, but they give you cash back on one or two items. Maybe if you've got Heinz ketchup on it, maybe if you've got Campbell's soup on it, they'll give you that cash back on it. Ours is take a picture of receipt. We're going to give it to you on everything. The other thing that's going to become a lot easier as we go forward is that there's going to be no eventually you won't have to take a picture of receipt. If you've got email receipt coming in, you'll be able to attach your email to our app, inside our app in the settings, and we'll be able to pull receipts that are being sent to you via email from Home Depot or Michael's, are the two companies that I know of right now that do that right now. They send you email receipts.
No, not again. Yeah, I get email receipts all the time, so that's good to know. I don't want any paper.
That's right.
So you mentioned, I mean, I want to talk a little bit about the blockchain. Obviously, I love blockchain, and that even goes back to my Nathan's days a long time ago when it wasn't even around, and I was like, I needed it before I even knew what it was. So you want to have it on the blockchain. I mean, I see the value of the blockchain. I'm a part of the Butter Blockchain Consortium and what we're doing in here and throughout Canada. So, why do you want Zenoshi on the blockchain?
So the only part of Zenoshi that I want on the blockchain is the rewards. And for those people that don't understand maybe what blockchain is or what value blockchain brings, number one is immutable. You're right. Nobody can change your rewards and say it's going to become less. And that's one of my problems, is that these companies end up changing the reward program and saying, oh, your rewards are worth less. Number two is that they're transferable. And in a lot of reward programs, your points are not transferable. I want this to be transferable. Number three is that it's cashable. You can actually cash it out because it's on an exchange. Yeah. So whether we decide to do this as on a public exchange or on a private exchange, no matter what, we want to make it cashable eventually, so that if you don't like anything in my marketplace, if you don't like the travel that I've got on there right now, or the TVs, toasters, and whatever I'm going to put on later, like iPads and all that, you can cash out. You can say, I don't like that. I just need the cash a scan. I'm going to cash it out and go to the exchange and do that. So that's one of the big reasons that I wanted to do that. I also didn't want anybody taking over this company saying that we're going to cancel this program or cancel the rewards or anything later on down the road. We had a lot of people that didn't act on their Aeroplan miles when Aeroplan went, when Air Canada got rid of that. Yeah. They lost their privileges there. And I don't look at that as just a privilege. When I earn points, they're mine. And I get really passionate, upset when I hear somebody saying, but that company gave you that. No, they didn't give it to me. I earned it because I went and used that company. I actually bought something from that company. For them to take it away from me, I think that's theft. Honestly, I get that animated about it. I think that you've just taken away something. You owe me something. I think everybody that had Aeroplan miles that didn't get compensated for it, I think they should class action suit that, because we own that. And that is something that's a problem. So that's the kind of thing that I don't want to happen. And that's where blockchain comes in for me.
No, and absolutely. I mean, and blockchain, obviously the secureness of it as well, which helps, and the transferable, as you said. And I mean, whether you create your own or use a blockchain as your service, I think it's great. I mean, you're seeing more and more, a big announcement the other day. Coke is going on the blockchain to track their bottles so they can make that more efficient. And obviously Walmart has been, so you're seeing more and more people seeing it. It's slowly but surely it's starting to make the mainstream. And, and I think it's very positive that you'll be using the blockchain. That's, again, my opinion, but I'm a little biased.
I want to just take a minute. I know that I'm looking at this on Facebook as well, and I don't notice that it's live. Just so you know, and maybe that's why we're not getting any comments yet. So just a quick little aside that maybe I'm just not noticing it on my Facebook. So just let you know.
Okay, well, I'll log on to my phone here and take a gander at it. But,
okay, yeah. But this is a great interview so far, so I don't want to interrupt that. Thank you.
Well, again, I'm talking to Allan Marston, the founder of Zenoshi. You can go to his website, zenoshi.com, or on the comment section, you can just click in there and it will take you directly to his website. So I know you said you're launching soon, and your launch date might be December 15th. Let's hope so. So, I mean, that is very exciting for you, obviously. But what's next for you once you launch, once you go? What are we looking at?
Well, I got already, one of the things we're very excited about that we've already launched is something called Zenoshi Premium. So Zenoshi Premium is a savings site, zenoshipremium.com. It's a savings site where people can save, up to $2,000 to $6,000 a year for a measly $5 a month. Or if they want to save more money, they can get an annual subscription for $50. So it's something that we've been really promoting to employers. We've got a number of people on it already. And so I want to really expand that, 350,000 merchants. Imagine the coupon book that, we used to buy when the kids were in school. We used to sell it to our neighbors and for 25 or 40 bucks or whatever it was. But you can only use it in your own city. You could use it all across North America.
Yeah.
And it's got travel, it's got coupons, bowling, Domino's, McDonald's, Papa John's, all kinds of stuff on it. So I want to really expand that. I want to get that going in a bigger way while we're doing, after we've launched Zenoshi Rewards. Zenoshi Rewards, the next thing after that is to get into, once we've launched, and got a big adoption in North America, is to get into Asia. We've got somebody on our advisory board from Singapore. We've got someone that we just brought on who's an advisor and has tremendous contacts in China and in Taiwan. So that's going to be very, very important for us as we go forward to get into Asia. So there's a lot of plans. I want to get a Silicon Valley office going. So I've still got a number of contacts there, and I want to get set up something out there because that's where you really get noticed as well. So those are some of the things that I'd like to do.
No, those are great goals. I mean, whether you're in Silicon Valley or world domination, I love that. Right? I mean, I love the big goals when people are talking about them, and and very few. I mean, a lot of people I interview are have very great successful businesses, but most of them will never be a global player. They're going to have, whether it be in maybe Canada, maybe Alberta, and that's great, and that's all they need. But it's very few people that I interview are thinking global. So that is interesting. And
some of the challenges that that we are going to have, and we are looking at now, we're dealing with it right now, is making sure that all of this data is secure. Right, this is people's data, and this is I take it very seriously. I see all the trouble that Mark Zuckerberg gets in with Facebook. So we're going to pay people for their data, right? We're paying you. Data is the new oil. We're going to pay you for the data. And, but the second thing is making sure that data is protected. And we've got, our CTO is a top security expert, works for one of the biggest companies today in Canada. And so we're taking that very seriously as well, because I know people are going to say, I don't know if I want to share my data. Well, you're already sharing your data. You're sharing your data everywhere, whether you want to or don't want to. Even if you try, you'd have to go and hide under a rock, go and hibernate in a cave like a bear for you not to share your data. It's being shared. Your phone is sharing your data everywhere you go, no matter what you do. So, we're trying to just make sure that it's protected. And we're making sure that if you're going to share your data, you get paid for it. Right. That's very important for me.
No, I agree with that. And obviously the blockchain will help make that secure too. So I know, I mean, you've been a serial entrepreneur, obviously going back to your Silicon Valley days and looking at that. You had another hospital business, hospital app business, and obviously and a few others, and now Zenoshi. So you've been around. You've started a few. You've been through the ups and downs. So if you had one piece of advice, Allan, for a startup, a small business, or an entrepreneur, what would that be?
You know, one of the things we tell entrepreneurs all the time is to put your blinders on and be focused. But don't put your blinders on so much that you can't see other opportunities that might be arising. So very often we've got to tweak things. I remember when I first launched Zenoshi Premium, the savings program. I was presenting it to a bunch of people because I thought consumers would be the ones that I should target. They're the ones that want to save money. The mom who's cutting coupons, those type of people are the ones that I was after. So I was presenting this, and someone stood up in the back of the room and said, "Hey, can't I use this as an employee benefit for my employees?" And I went, "Great idea." And I launched the employee benefit program. So there's a site called Employers savingsforemployees.com actually. And so they can launch it as an employee benefit program. And I created an entire program around that. I blogged about it. I've said, hey, instead of giving your employees $1 an hour increase, what if you gave them $50? And $1 an hour increase would cost you $2,600 a year per employee. This would be $50 for an employee for the whole year, and they could save $2,000 to $6,000. You don't pay taxes on savings. You pay taxes on what you're earning. So you can get the same amount of money. So I created that. And that's because I'm always looking out for what else is happening. Somebody else said I was presenting it to an employer, and they said, well, hang on a minute. Can I not use this as an incentive when my customers sign up with me for my tour business? So we got a tour business in San Francisco that called Protocol Transportation that does limos and tours and all that. They signed up with us, and I'm giving it as an incentive when people book a tour with them. So again, I'm always looking out. So your business, whatever your business is, you got to be looking at how can you tweak that to get more business in other areas. I'll give you a quick example of something that I helped someone in Winnipeg do many years ago, and I don't see anybody doing that here in Calgary. If there is, there's very, very few of them. So a hairstylist, right? You got a hairstylist working out of a salon, and these hairstylists, they're waiting for somebody to come in. My own person that cuts my hair, they often complain about how busy they are. They're not, right? How they're just standing around. And now she takes 2 days off and all this kind of stuff. And I just go, what about going out on your own and creating a mobile hair cutting business, a hair salon business, a mobile business where you go to people's offices, where you go to old folks' homes, where you go to, and I don't see anybody doing this. And you have a little bag that takes all your stuff in it, and you have a little broom in there that you can clean up after you do it in somebody's office, and you have some product with you that you can maybe sell them some product on the side, and around the town hair a business kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
You've got to think outside the box, and you've got to stop thinking where I worked 25 years in the retail industry, 10 of those with Holt Renfrew and with Harry Rosen's for another couple of years. And one of the things about retail is you're always waiting for somebody to come to you, and if you can get out to people in doing what you're doing, that is critical. So the piece of advice simply I'd have is be thinking and be ready to tweak your business to add more things to what you're doing. That is very, very critical for you.
No, that's great advice. And that mobile, it's funny that you mentioned that is, I've been helping a new, I like to call him Alberta's newest entrepreneur and newest small business, but it is evolutionize.ca, and they are a mobile optometry clinic. And they've got a 40-foot Winnebago, and Dr. Kohlberg and his brother Trent, he didn't want to open up another brick and mortar like everybody else. So the Winnebago is all state of the art. They drive to you. They were at Canna Construct Group of companies yesterday. They've done Atco. They've done some car dealerships. They're doing, they're trying to, obviously get into, we can drive up to Fort Mac and sit at camps with Suncor or Synovus or CNRL, whoever it may be. It's obviously, I mean, they've only been operating since the beginning of September, but they're off to a great start because of that, right? Like,
that's a fantastic idea, Jade. What's the name of it again?
It's Evolutionize.
Evolutionize.ca.
And I mean, they're in the new year, they're going to be sponsoring our chat here, and it's something that I think is just awesome. And again, they're off to a great start. They're supplying a service, and eventually, hopefully, we'll get into some senior centers, old folks' homes, and so forth. If you know anybody, Allan, I would love to, any introductions that I can pass off to Trent and Taylor. I would love to do that. But check them out; it's an impressive site, and all the business that they're drumming up, and all the business that they did creating it, the bus wrap, and the people that did the graphics, and myself, and the people that created the logo, and myself. Everybody is based in Calgary, so they're spreading the wealth and spreading the business around Calgary. So Evolutionize has done a great job, and I
love the idea, Jade. That is a fantastic idea. And anybody, we're getting busier and busier now. We get groceries delivered to our door, for crying out loud. So. Yeah. People want things coming to their door, whether it's a mobile car wash or whether it's a mobile oil change, or there's all these people are doing it. I mean, you've got to be thinking this, and how can I mobilize my business where I can take it out to other people? And so I hope businesses, I'm a passionate small business person. So I hope there are small business people that are thinking about this. And there are people out there, believe me, that are thinking, I don't have a business, but I'm thinking of starting a business. Think mobile. Think about what can you provide when getting out to people. I've written a book that's on Kindle, and I wrote it just for fun. And but it's 57 ways to make money now, and I think that's what it's called. I don't even remember because I just did it for fun. But it's been selling on Kindle. So 57 ways to make money now. But the whole point of that is, how can you, who are sitting at home needing a second job or needing to get your side hustle going, how can you get something going? Well, here are 57 ways to do it. And a lot of them are mobile, right? Getting something that you can do, that you can take out to people, where it's a mobile chef, for example, that comes and cooks for you, right? It cooks for you once a week, but for 5 days. Makes meals for 5 days and puts it in the fridge. Now you got your food ready. Come home, you got the kids, you're running them to soccer and to piano lessons and all that. You got that ready, right? You and I don't have to worry about that because we're entrepreneurs that work out of home. So
we're already mobile. Oh no. Oh, Allan, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, sharing your Zenoshi story and your knowledge of of prior business as well. I really appreciate that, and thank you so much.
Jade, it's been my pleasure. Thank you so much. You're doing a great service with this, bringing so much ideas and publicity for small businesses and other businesses. I really appreciate you, and thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, thank you for the kind words, sir. And again, I hope everybody enjoyed today's episode. Until next week, I hope everybody has a great week, and stay safe. The roads are a little icy. All right. Thank you again, Allan. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Jade. Take care. Bye.